a lot of people get analysis paralysis and they'll just sit there and they'll plan their first video for 3 months. And I'm any of you listening, if you, especially if you have 0 videos on your channel, your first video is not going to give views. Period. It's not. Your first 10 are not going to give views. I can very confidently say that. So stop sitting there and thinking for months and months on end, and just get to work and start uploading. Like, all you need to do, this applies to people who have not uploaded videos but have dreams of being a YouTuber, is make 100 videos and improve something every time.
What's up, family? I'm John Jay from ADB on State of Mind. For those of you out that are already familiar with me, I am John Jay from ADB on State of Mind on YouTube. And today, we accepted the challenge of growing a brand new channel from 0 to 100K subscribers, utilizing the advice of one of YouTube's finest YouTubers, if not the best. We're talking about someone with over 250 million followers worldwide on all major networks, all major platforms. We're talking about someone that has created the cheat code, someone that is the algorithm. So with no further introduction needed, we're going to be taking notes and we're going to be taking advice from Mr. Beast. But if you find any value in this video, please feel free to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified each and every time that we drop any more hot new content to this channel, because you know, I will be cooking up some more hot topics. And please, if you will, mosey on over to our other channel, ADB on State of Mind, and do the same as well. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified each and every time we drop any hot new content. And please feel free to hit that like button. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you all the very most from the bottom of my heart. Let's go.
Just opened a giant can of worms. Well, there's a lot of things. So step one is no one else is. If we're talking specifically about content, there's usually like 3 pillars. Like, you have to understand really well what does well on YouTube. You have to understand how to build a business and like actually hire people and build a production team and you build these sets, whatever. Even things like getting insurance if you're driving fast cars or whatever. I mean, a trillion little things. And then you also just have to be like a good personality, be good on camera, be entertaining. These are all 3 things that are very hard to master. And like a typical big YouTuber is like good at one of them. Like, they understand YouTube well, they understand business well, or they're just phenomenal on camera. Not that I'm phenomenal on camera, but good enough for people to watch it. But it's like, most people do like one of those pillars. And like, I feel like we're one of the few channels that has all 3. Like, we understand what the platform wants. We understand what people want. We have good content on camera that's entertaining. It doesn't necessarily always revolve around me, but me and the boys collectively in the scenarios and environments we are is insanely funny and some of the best content you can find on YouTube. Plus, like, the production, everything's very high. And so couple that with, I don't care, I'll reinvest everything. I think this year we'll spend like $120 million on our videos, just on the YouTube videos. And like, no one else would do that. You know what I mean? Like, if they were in my shoes, they'd be like, okay, we'll spend 20 million and pocket 100 million. And so that, and every step of the way, even when I used to make $200,000 a year off YouTube, I would just spend 201,000. I don't know where I got the 1,000, but I figured it out and put it in, And so I would always reinvest the money. We had the 3 pillars that not many people have. And then we just have some of the best people in the world here. Like, some of our top people, obviously, if they worked on any other YouTube channel, like, they would probably 10x the views overnight. So it's a combination of that, which most of those people was just through. The problem is this isn't like a super developed industry. So I had to like find hyper intelligent people and just train them over 4 or 5 years. And I'm finally on the other side where I'm reaping a lot of those rewards, which is why we're able to upload more and do these bigger videos more consistently. Because before I had to be very involved and micromanage people and blah blah. Now, like, the great people in my company are just like, Jimmy, get out the way. Like, they can do it better than me. Like, my top editors can edit better than me. Obviously, they should. Top creatives, they can write better videos than me. And they'll usually bring me in at the end and I get final say, so it's still my video. But, same thing with the producers and everything fully down. Because at the end of the day, they can spend 100 hours a week on a certain job and I can only spend 5, 10. So like, in theory, they should be, even if I'm 2 times better due to the amount of time advantage they have, they should just absolutely steamroll me in anything. You know what I mean? And so it's really a game of like, here's all the things that need to happen and how do you get like the best person in the world in that position? And, usually it's just finding hyper ambitious, great people in our industry because it's not super developed, and then just investing years in them. And then at the tail end of it, they're just better than you at what you do. And, it just is amazing.
What's your approach to managing those people?
Let them do what they want to do. You know what I mean? Like, usually.
Well, you say that, but we were just talking to someone who's on your team, and he didn't contradict that. But what he said was, at this point, when you're with especially the high level team,
Yeah.
he said it's like you're talking to Jimmy clones. Like
Exactly.
you have gotten your brain into them so well. So like, how is it that you do that? You say you get out of the way and let them do their thing, and yet,
Well, that's
how is it
after,
that you-
after they become a clone. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you know what's funny? I actually talked to a lot of other people who have small businesses or other creators, and they're like, I'm writing this training manual, or we're making these training videos. And it's like, on paper, it makes sense. Like, okay, you bring new employees in, you have all this training material, but it's like, I could give you a 10-hour training video to watch and like a book on how to work in my company. You read and watch all of it. You're still not going to know how to do anything. You know what I mean? The actual reality of it is you just need to work alongside the person day in and day out for a very, very long time. And eventually they'll start to see how your brain works and how you would respond in certain situations and how you act in the culture and blah, blah, blah. That's how you instill work ethic and company culture and that kind of stuff into someone. And ideally, you would do that to like 3 or 4 people. And the beauty is, if you do that over years, they will become very, very similar to you in every way and become exactly what you want because you mold them over time. And then they create the next 3 versions, you know, each of them. Like one of our top people, Tyler, who I spent 4 years with just training and working with every single day almost. You know, now he has 3, we call them literally mini Tylers, who I just need more of him. Like he's phenomenal. He is everything I've ever wanted in that role. But the problem is he only has 24 hours in a day,
Right.
and I can't even have all those. You know, it sucks. He has to sleep. Kidding, but you know, so you know, I need more of them, and so we have 3 mini Tylers who are doing the same thing. They've been following him around every single day, observing every little thing he does for the last 4 or 5 months, and then probably starting next year, they'll be able to actually do some stuff without him, and over time we'll wean them off him. And that's what you do, but we do that across everything. And it's beautiful because now it goes from like 5 people to 15 to like 25. And it's like cool to like see it in action. And all these people are just very phenomenal.
It reminds me, I think it's the Navy SEALs that for a long time, I think they now have finally written things down. They wouldn't write things down. They had like no official processes written down. It was just like, you come, you join the SEALs, you spend time with senior SEALs and you learn how they do it. And
100%.
Yeah.
The most underrated practice in business is that. It's like I've talked to so many people and it just, because in theory, having all this training bullshit does make sense. But in actuality, it's just not the same as just having great people work alongside new people to get them how you want. You know what I mean?
Huh, interesting. Do you have like specific timelines? Like, is that codified, if that makes
the
sense?
timeline is when my great people say you're ready. You know what I mean?
right.
Like, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, after a year, if Tyler's like, yeah, this guy's not doing it, I'm not gonna be like, oh, well, it's been a year of training, throw him in the fire, let him do it. It's like, okay, they weren't good enough.
When
You
they're
know
ready.
what I mean?
Yeah. So that's your management style. That's your management technique. What about like when it comes to hiring? Like, do you find, I mean, on the one hand, you're Mr. Beast, people want to work with you. They want to get the experience. So you probably could pay below market rates just because people want to.
Yeah.
Or
But
does
then
it,
you're not going to retain talent. They're not going to be as ambitious enough. There's no doubt in my mind, we pay way more than any other YouTube channel on the planet. I mean, some people will be making like, you know, $2,000 a month and then we'll hire them. And obviously they're making like 8,000 or 9,000, depending on how important the role is. So no, I do believe you should pay people well. And like, obviously as I actually, like, if people in my company want to learn how to be more valuable so they can charge us more money, I'm down to invest in them. You know what I mean? If you want to get a class in college, although I wouldn't recommend it, I find a better training method than that. But if you want me to spend money to help you get smarter so you can turn around and charge me more money, I don't care. As long as you're adding more value to the company, I'm all for it. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay, I want to ask you, we talked a little bit about your management style, your approach. I also want to ask you about like your routine. Do you have a routine, like a daily routine?
You know, in 4 days, I'm burying myself alive for a week, right? They told you?
What was that?
I'm burying myself alive for a week, starting in 4 days.
Well, how long did you bury yourself for last time?
50 hours. And
Okay.
people liked it. So now we're going to do it for 7 days and 1 second to beat David Blaine.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So to answer your question, routine, no, because some months I spend 28 days filming and, well, you know, 1 week.
You're not going to work out in your coffin?
Well, I'm going to work out, yes. But it's like, you know, the routine is hard. Like there are things I'll do throughout a day consistently, but not really a routine. Which is, to be honest, is kind of the hardest part of what we do, or what I do, is because, you know, 1 week I'm buried alive, the next week, even if it's fun, driving fast cars all over the world, I still gotta fly to California, then fly to Florida, and then, flying cars in Europe, guess we gotta go to Europe. And it's like, boom, all right, and that week I never even was home. And then it's like, you jump right into the next video and the next video. You know, if we're uploading like we are now, because that's 6 days of filming a week, and most videos aren't local.
What you're saying reminds me a lot, actually, of Napoleon, in that his secretary wrote about it and said he didn't have routines because he couldn't, because who knows what would happen, but he had processes. So like when this happened, when he's got to make a decision about this, these people come in the room, we get out this binder, like whatever. Does that sound right?
Exactly. And I also feel like for me, it also suits me better because I don't think this is optimal, but I tend to be a little more impulse driven. And so I know these are the things I have to do today, but what order it's going to happen, God knows. I kind of like, and again, it might not be effective. And ideally with not people whose time is super valuable, but if it's like, I have to do these 5 phone calls, just tell them at any point Jimmy's going to call, make it where it doesn't go to voicemail or ringer or whatever, and make sure, they have it set where when I call, it just goes through. And I'd prefer it to be like that. So in between meetings or blah, blah, whenever I'm like, really, my brain is focused on that, I can just get them done, as opposed to just being like, it has to be in this time or this, because you just don't know. My brain might be in a different gear because I was working on a different project. And it's just kind of hard to just like gear switch on demand 30 times a day.
Do you have to worry about, like, you get so obsessed, you get hooked into something. Mm-hmm. Do you worry about like essentially having tunnel vision and like missing some things and then getting pulled out of that?
No, because it works usually. I obsess over YouTube for the most part.
You get the right stuff. Yeah. Good. What for you right now is the bottleneck? Like, is it just time? Like, you basically got this thing figured out. We're looking at your counter downstairs, and it's amazing because I think about the scale that I'm operating, and then we're looking at your subscriber count. Yeah, and it's like every 5 minutes, another 10,000 or more.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy right now because we just uploaded a short. So yeah, we'll probably gain like 500,000 subscribers today.
That's insane. So when it comes to like the future and where you're going, is the bottleneck? Do you think you have
literally the only time? The only bottleneck in the entire company right now is me. It's my time because I can only film so many videos, and like, yes, we could shrink the film windows down, but there are just certain things that are good content that it just takes time, right?
Is the machine ever going to operate not without you, but without you as the face of the videos?
To be honest, no, because I think like that's the beauty of it. Is like, I think we're in the right now, personal brands are just getting so freaking massive. I mean, look at Taylor Swift. She's going to do over $1 billion in just concert tickets this year. I mean, and God knows what she's going to be doing 5 years from now. I think like if you were to, which I haven't done it, but my gut says if you were to figure out some way to like objectively rate like the influence of individual people that aren't political figures, like it is probably skyrocketing. Especially the last 10 years, it's probably gone a steep up incline. And so I think one of the most valuable things I can be is the face of the channel, is be the person that, I think in the last 90 days, 600 million unique viewers. So like probably 8% of the humans on the world have seen one of our videos just on YouTube. And so it's like, I want it to be my face because I think that the dividends that would pay over the rest of my lifetime would be enormous.